Dear students, welcome back to the Nibra Secondary School online YouTube class. Today we are going to discuss about the next centers of power in the medieval period. It was China and Japan. We know that the previous classes we discussed the various centers of power in the medieval period. Eastern Roman Empire, Holy Roman Empire, Arab Empire, Ottoman Empire, Mongolian Empire, and the last two Mali Empire. After that, we discussing the China and Japan is also existed some power in their centers. It was, we know the China and Japan is a Asian countries. So in the Asian continent there is existed a centers of power that was China and Japan. We are discussing it is separately, okay, and these two centers of power also famous for the efficient administration. They are also famous for the efficient administration system existed or prevailed in the medieval period. We can say that here China and Japan in the medieval period they famous for their efficient administration system. Okay, let us look about the medieval China. In the initial stage of the medieval period, the China is ruled by the Tang dynasty. The China was ruled by the Tang dynasty. In this dynasty, the country's all political affairs or the country's all the power is in their hand, Tang dynasty's hand or the ruler's hand. Okay, that was the sovereignty. Sovereignty means the all the power is in the country, it is in the hand of the emperor, and the state officials or the state officers were selected through the competitive exams because they want the accurate or the efficient officers for their state office. So the rulers, so the emperors, they conducting a competitive exams for selecting best officers based on their educational quality, excellence in the education. And the next it was, we know that the main feature of the China's, the main feature of the medieval period China, it was the state officials were selected on the basis of competitive examination. And the next one, the Tang dynasty, the Tang rulers who also promoted, who also tolerate the all the religion. They tolerate towards the all the religion. That means they accept the all the religion. They are not neglect any religion in that that place. And also the Tang dynasty also promoted the trade and the commerce. We know that in the medieval period, the all the traders, the China is a big country based on the trade. We know that before the attacking the Constantinople, the Europe and the China have a trade relation. And also in medieval period, so many travelers or the traders came to India also. That is that China, the Tang rulers who also promoted the traders and commerce in that period, medieval period. Okay, this is the main features of the medieval period China. It was the initial stage of China that is ruled by the Tang dynasty, and sovereignty of the country was in the hand of the rulers or the hand of emperor. and the state officials were selected on the basis of the competitive examination. And the Tang rulers was tolerant towards all religion, and they also promoted the trade and commerce. These are the main features of the China in the medieval period. After that, after the Tang dynasty, the China was ruled by the Song dynasty. The China was after Tang dynasty. The China was ruled by the Tang dynasty, and after that they ruled by the Ming dynasty. And the last phase of the medieval period, it was the China was ruled in the Manchu dynasty. These are the major dynasties existed in the medieval period. The first Tang dynasty in the medieval period. You also noted that in the medieval period it was the Tang dynasty. After that Song dynasty and Ming dynasty, and last it was Manchu dynasty. The next it was the Japan. The features of the Japan in the medieval period. The one of the point, it was the supreme head of the political affairs. It was in the hand of emperors. The supreme head of the political affairs, it is in the hand of emperors. In Japan, emperors, but the administration was taken by the administration in the hand of the feudal lords. The feudal lords in the Japan is known as shoguns. The feudal lords in the Japan is known as shoguns. So the administration power is in the hand of the feudal lords, that is known as shoguns. The name of the feudal lords is shogun. In Japan, the administration power, the administration was overruled by the feudal lords, that known as shoguns. It is the main two features. The first one, the supreme head of the political affairs, it is in the hand of the emperors. Supreme political power, it is the hand of emperors, but the administration power, administration is taken by the hand of the feudal lords, shoguns. In that time, the land was under control of the shoguns. In that time, all the land of that nation, that was under their control, shoguns' control. And last one, it was the under of the shogun, the Tokyo, one of the important city in the Japan. The Tokyo, that was emerged as the center of power in the world, the center of the power in the trade. These we all say that the Tokyo has emerged a big centers of power in the period of shoguns. It was the features of Japan in the medieval period. Okay, the emperor was the supreme head in the political affairs, but the administration was overruled by the feudal lords, that known as shoguns, and all the land was under their control, shoguns' control. And it was the under shogun that Tokyo is a city in Japan, and that's emerged as the center of power in the medieval world. These are the features of Japan. Okay, we are going to discuss about the next centers of power, that was America. The America in the medieval period. We know that America has divided into two parts. It was the South America and the North America. South America and the North America. From the ancient times also, here in both North America and the South America, both existed, both prevailed some civilization. from ancient times also, here there are so many civilization prevailed in the both North America and South America. The previous 8th standard, the previous class 8th standard, we discussed some of the civilization in the world. We know that Indus Valley civilization, Egyptian civilization, Chinese civilization. These are the civilization prevailed in the world. And that type of civilization also existed in the North America and South America, both American. Here, the civilization are indigenous civilization. What is known as indigenous civilization? Indigenous means the people of that place make their civilization. That is indigenous. The people of that place. That the meaning of indigenous, that is Sodeshigal. Okay, indigenous civilization means Sodeshigal undakiya samskarangal. That is known as indigenous civilization. Okay, now look at from the ancient time onwards, indigenous civilization prevailed in both North America and South America. What are the civilization existed in the North America and the South America? It was the Tabul. That was in North America. North America existed this civilization, and the first civilization it is Mississippi, and next civilization it was Caribbean, and after that Magellan, and after that Patayan. In South American civilization, some of the South American civilization, it was Mayan and Inca, after that Aztec, after that Toltec. These are the civilization prevailed in the North America and South America. Okay, these civilizations has continued towards the medieval period also. It was a ancient time civilization. This civilization continued through the medieval period also. We are discussing the medieval period of the America, that we say that in North America and South America there prevailed both some of the civilization. That civilization continued through the medieval period also. The administration system in this region, the administration system in the North America and South America was purely indigenous. We the previous said that the indigenous, the people of the land, the people of that area was taken by the administration system. These are the features. And after that, the Europeans came to America in the 16th century. The Europeans came to America in the 16th century, and they are constructed, they are established some of the colonies in America. The Europeans came to America and they established the colonies in that places. In the colonies, the Europeans also destroyed the native culture. They destroyed the culture of America. Because the Europeans came to America and they spread the European culture in that place. They spread the religion of that European religion. They spread the language of the European. They destroyed the native culture of the North America and the South America. And also Europeans started some of plantations and mines in America. The Europeans came to America in the 16th century and they established colonies. And they destroyed the culture of the native people, and they constructed some of the plantations and some of the mines in there. And also the workers of the mines or the workers of the plantation, that was the Negroes. We know that Negroes, the Negroes that were brought from the Africa to work here, the plantation and mines. So the Negroes of Africa were brought to America was as slaves. The Negroes as slaves in under the Europeans. So they had to work in the plantation and mines. Okay, and the native people, they were subjected to genocide. They were subjected to genocide. Genocide means the Vamshahatya. Okay, these are the features of the medieval period in the America. We said that there existed some of the civilization, and that civilization in the both North America and South America, that civilization continued the medieval period, and the administration was purely indigenous. And the 16th century Europeans came to America and they established the colonies. They destroyed the native culture. They also constructed some of the plantation and mines, and the workers of the plantation and mines in the Negroes as the slaves, and the native peoples were subjected to genocide. These are the features of North America. Okay, now we are going to discuss about the last section of our chapter. It was the decline of feudalism. Decline of feudalism. Okay, one of the question, what is known as feudalism? We know that feudalism existed in the Europe, and that emerged to the other countries. In Europe, some of the feudal system existed in the medieval period also. In the last phase of medieval period, it became the decline. Okay, what is known as feudalism? Okay, feudalism, it is a socio-political and economic system existed in the medieval Europe based on land. It is the important thing, based on land, was known as feudalism. It is a socio-political and economic system existed in the medieval Europe based on land, was known as feudalism. Okay, it is a simply hierarchical structure of feudalism prevailed in the Europe. In the top of the society, we know that the king, after that the nobles, and after that the knights, some of the lords, and some of the militaries and the soldiers, that are in the knights. And the last phase, the lower part of the society, it was the middle class people and the low class people. The farmers are in the last part. It is the hierarchical structure. We know that the king, the definition, it was the socio-political economic system based on the medieval Europe, based on land. So the king give land to the nobles, and the nobles also give land to the knights. The knights, in the hand of the knights, has major lands. So the land is the middle class people and low class people work in their land, in that land. Here they provide services, taxes and money to the knights, and the knights, they provide protection to the nobles, and also nobles give loyalty to the king. The king is the ultimate at the top of the society. So the nobles gives loyalty to the king. These are the hierarchical structure of the medieval Europe. This is known as feudalism, feudal system. Okay, the definition of feudal system: the socio-economic and political system existed in the medieval Europe based on land. The land, the king gives to land all the part of the under the his. So the based on land was known as feudalism. Okay, we are going to discuss the decline of feudalism in the medieval period. Okay, now we are going to discuss about what are the reasons behind the decline of feudalism in Europe. What are the reasons or in the decline of feudalism? We know that the first point, the agricultural production has decreased due to the climatic change. We know that in the medieval period, the main revenue is getted from the agricultural sector. So that sector is going to a decline because of climatic change. It affects the decline of feudalism also. So the agricultural production decreased due to the climatic change. This agricultural production also affect the famine. Famine means the extremely food shortage. The scarcity of the food shortage, extremely poverty. It is called famine. The decreasing of agricultural production, it affect the famine because the scarcity of food shortage. And also in that time in Europe, in medieval period, in the last phase of medieval period, in the Europe where some of the disease has spreaded. That disease as plague and the Black Death. Plague means some of the infectious diseases. It is an infectious diseases caused from bacteria. It is also affect the human and it is spread all over the Europe. And the next point, the king's monopoly of gunpowder. The kings has the monopoly of the gunpowder and it also affect the decline of feudalism. And the next point, the peasant revolt. Peasant, it is the farmers. The low level farmers are the peasants. So the revolt, the farmers revolts in the some of the areas in the Europe. It also affected the decline of feudalism and the emergence of nation state. That some of the state in the Europe want to republic. This affect the decline of feudalism. And the last one, the Crusades. Crusades is the war between the Western Europe and the Turks. For the problem was for the capturing of the Jerusalem. The place Jerusalem, they want both Jerusalem in Western Europe and the Turks, and they became fought wars between them in between 11th century to 13th century onwards. These are the reason behind the decline of feudalism. The agricultural production decreased due to climatic change, and it affected the famine in Europe, and the plague and the Black Death, and the king's monopoly of gunpowder, and the peasant revolt. The farmers revolt happened in the major some of the areas in the Europe, and the emergence of national state, and also affect the Crusades in the Europe. Okay.